What if I told you that some of the most healing foods on the planet contain almost no carbs or sugar? And I'm not talking about those trendy diet foods that taste like cardboard. If you're struggling with joint pain, low energy, or weight that won't budge, your body might be fighting hidden inflammation from the wrong foods. Here's the truth. Those processed carbs and sugars that used to be fine in your 40s, they're silently sabotaging your health now. Today, I'm revealing 14 powerful foods with virtually no carbs or sugars that could transform how you feel. And wait until you hear about number 7. It's what I recommend for stubborn joint pain, and you'll feel the difference within days. These foods could help you feel 10 years younger, but before we get into it, if you appreciate me making this type of content, go ahead and hit the like button. Let's dive in. 1. Grass-fed beef and organ meats. Now, before you wrinkle your nose at the mention of organ meats, hear me out. Grass-fed beef, especially liver, is one of the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. It's absolutely loaded with vitamin B12. That's the energy vitamin that many of us become deficient in as we age. Just a 3-ounce serving of beef liver contains over 3,000% of your daily B12 needs. That's not a typo, folks. 3,000%. It's also packed with iron, zinc, and complete protein that contains all the amino acids your body needs. This is especially important for those of us over 60 because maintaining muscle mass becomes more challenging every year. The complete protein in grass-fed beef helps preserve that precious muscle tissue that keeps us mobile and independent. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. I can't stand liver. Well, I've got a quick tip that's been a game changer. Mix ground liver with regular ground beef at a 1:3 ratio and add my special spice blend of garlic powder, smoked paprika, and a dash of sage. Trust me, you won't even taste the liver. Next up on our list is wild-caught salmon and other fatty fish like sardines, mackerel, and anchovies. These powerhouse foods are some of the best sources of omega-3 fatty acids you can find. Why does that matter? Because omega-3s are like nature's anti-inflammatory medicine. They help reduce inflammation throughout your entire body, including your joints, brain, and cardiovascular system. For those of us with creaky knees or stiff fingers in the morning, increasing omega-3s can be transformative. Studies have shown that consistent consumption of fatty fish can reduce joint pain and stiffness by up to 30% in some people. That's better than many over-the-counter medications. Wild-caught is absolutely crucial here, my friends. Farmed fish typically contain much higher levels of omega-6 fatty acids, which can actually promote inflammation, the exact opposite of what we want. Farmed fish are also often treated with antibiotics and fed an unnatural diet, resulting in lower levels of those precious omega-3s. Here's a quick preparation tip. To preserve the delicate omega-3s, try poaching your salmon in a little broth or baking it at a lower temperature of about 325 degrees. High heat can damage some beneficial fatty acids. 3. Pasture-raised eggs. Eggs are truly nature's perfect little package of nutrition. They contain all 9 essential amino acids, making them a complete protein. But what makes eggs especially valuable as we age is their high choline content. Choline is a nutrient that supports brain health and memory, something many of us start to worry about in our 60s and beyond. One egg provides about 27% of your daily choline needs. It's also important for liver function and cellular maintenance. Now, I know some of you might be worried about cholesterol. Let me put those fears to rest. The latest research shows that for most people, dietary cholesterol doesn't significantly impact blood cholesterol. In fact, eggs have been shown to increase HDL, the good cholesterol, and modify LDL from small, dense particles to large particles, which is actually better for heart health. So how many eggs should you eat? For most healthy adults, even those over 62 eggs per day is perfectly fine. Some persons eat up to 4 daily with excellent results on their blood work, but of course check with your doctor if you have specific health concerns. For maximum nutrition, try this simple preparation method. Cook your eggs over medium heat with a tablespoon of grass-fed butter, our next food, and the yolk still slightly runny. This preserves the heat-sensitive nutrients in the yolk while making the protein more digestible. 4. Avocados. Avocados are truly a miracle food for those of us watching our carbs and sugar. Half of a medium avocado contains just 2 grams of net carbs, but it's packed with 15 grams of heart-healthy monounsaturated fats. These are the same types of fats found in olive oil that are associated with lower rates of heart disease. What makes avocados particularly valuable for seniors is their high potassium content. With more potassium than a banana but without the sugar, avocados help maintain healthy blood pressure. They're also rich in lutein, which supports eye health, something we all need to pay attention to as we age. The fiber in avocados, about 7 grams in a whole one, feeds your good gut bacteria and helps regulate blood sugar. This is particularly important if you're concerned about diabetes or prediabetes, which affects nearly 1 in 3 Americans over 65. Here's a quick tip to keep your avocados fresh longer. Store unripe avocados on the counter, and once ripe, put them in the refrigerator where they'll last up to a week. If you have half an avocado left, leave the pit in, splash with lemon juice, and wrap tightly in plastic wrap. And while guacamole is delicious, try this simple alternative. Mash avocado with a little salt, pepper, and a tablespoon of full-fat Greek yogurt for a creamy, satisfying spread that's perfect on cucumber slices or celery sticks. 5. Grass-fed butter and ghee. I know what some of you might be thinking. Butter? Really? Yes, really. Grass-fed butter is making a major comeback in the health world, and for good reason. When cows eat grass instead of grain, their milk and butter contain significantly higher amounts of vitamin K2. This often overlooked vitamin is crucial for directing calcium to your bones instead of your arteries, making it essential for both bone and heart health as we age. Grass-fed butter also contains a special fatty acid called butyrate, which nourishes the cells lining your gut and reduces inflammation. It's rich in fat-soluble vitamins A, D, and E, which support immune function, bone health, and skin elasticity. For those of you who may be sensitive to dairy proteins, ghee is an excellent alternative. Ghee is butter that's been clarified to remove the milk solids, leaving just the pure butter fat. Many people who can't tolerate regular butter do just fine with ghee. Try adding a tablespoon of grass-fed butter to your morning coffee, along with a dash of cinnamon for a delicious, energizing drink that keeps hunger at bay for hours. 6. Olive oil and MCT oil. Another fantastic fat source with virtually no carbs is high-quality olive oil, and its more modern cousin, MCT oil. Extra virgin olive oil has been a staple of the Mediterranean diet for centuries, and research shows that those who consume it regularly tend to live longer, healthier lives. It's rich in polyphenols, powerful antioxidants that combat inflammation and may help prevent cognitive decline. Unfortunately, the olive oil industry is plagued with fraud. Here's how to identify real versus fake olive oil. Genuine extra virgin olive oil often has a peppery, sometimes bitter taste that can make you cough. That's the polyphenols. It should be stored in a dark bottle and have a harvest date on the label. If it costs less than $15 for a large bottle, it's probably not the real deal. Now let's talk about MCT oil, a relative newcomer that's derived from coconut or palm oil. MCT stands for medium-chain triglycerides, a type of fat that's rapidly absorbed and converted to energy instead of being stored. This makes it ideal for quick energy without the carbs. What's particularly exciting about MCT oil for seniors is its potential brain benefits. Your brain can use MCTs for energy even when it's struggling to use glucose, which happens more as we age. Some research suggests MCT oil may improve cognitive function in older adults. Here's a simple way to incorporate MCT oil. Start with just 1 teaspoon in your morning coffee or tea, and gradually increase to 1 tablespoon. A word of caution. Starting with too much can cause digestive upset, so ease into it slowly. Now let's move on to food number 7, the one I promised would be a game changer for those of you with joint pain. I'm talking about bone broth. Bone broth is one of the oldest healing foods on the planet. Our grandmothers knew what they were doing when they simmered those chicken carcasses all day long. Bone broth contains collagen, gelatin, glycine, proline, and minerals like calcium and magnesium that are extracted from the bones during the long cooking process. This is particularly beneficial for seniors because collagen production naturally declines as we age, by about 1% each year after 20. That decline contributes to wrinkles, joint pain, and weaker connective tissues. The collagen in bone broth provides the building blocks your body needs to maintain and repair joints, skin, and gut lining. Making bone broth at home is simple. Here's my quick, slow cooker recipe. Take the bones from a pasture-raised chicken or ask your local butcher for grass-fed beef bones. Cover with water, add a splash of apple cider vinegar to help extract minerals, and simmer on low for 24 hours. Add herbs and vegetables to taste. For the easiest way to incorporate bone broth into your daily routine, try replacing your afternoon coffee with a mug of warm bone broth with a pinch of sea salt. It's comforting, satisfying, and incredibly nourishing, especially during the colder months. 8. Fermented vegetables. Our 8th no-carb, no-sugar food is one that your great-grandparents probably ate regularly. Fermented vegetables like sauerkraut, kimchi, and pickles. These foods are created through a process of lactofermentation, where natural bacteria feed on the sugar and starch in the food, creating lactic acid. This process preserves the vegetables and creates beneficial enzymes, B vitamins, and various strains of probiotics. For seniors, fermented foods can be a digestive lifesaver. As we age, our production of stomach acid and digestive enzymes declines, making it harder to break down food and absorb nutrients. Fermented vegetables provide digestive enzymes and probiotics that help restore this balance. They're also rich in vitamin K2, which, as I mentioned earlier with butter, helps direct calcium to your bones instead of your arteries, crucial for both bone and heart health. Now, I know some of you are thinking, I can't stand the taste of sauerkraut. If that's you, start with just a teaspoon mixed into a salad or alongside protein. The strong flavor will be masked by the other foods, but you'll still get the benefits. You can also try water kefir or beet kvass, which have milder flavors. If you're feeling adventurous, making your own fermented vegetables is incredibly easy. All you need is chopped vegetables, salt, and a jar. But basically, you massage salt into shredded cabbage until it releases its juices. Pack it tightly into a jar and let it sit for a few days at room temperature. 9. Full-fat Greek yogurt. With an important caveat. We're talking about plain, unsweetened Greek yogurt, not the fruit-flavored varieties that can contain more sugar than a candy bar. Greek yogurt is a protein powerhouse, with about 20 grams per cup. It's also rich in calcium, which is crucial for bone health, especially for women over 60 who are at higher risk for osteoporosis. The probiotics in Greek yogurt support gut health, which is connected to everything from immune function to mental health. More and more research is showing that maintaining a healthy gut microbiome becomes increasingly important as we age. When shopping for Greek yogurt, look for brands that list live active cultures on the label and avoid those with added thickeners or gums. My personal test is to check if the only ingredients are milk and cultures. Anything else is unnecessary. Now, why do I specifically recommend full-fat Greek yogurt instead of non-fat? Because the fat helps you absorb the fat-soluble vitamins A and D present in the yogurt. It also contains conjugated linoleic acid, CLA, which may help reduce inflammation and support healthy weight management. Plus, the fat makes it more satisfying, so you're less likely to be hungry again shortly after eating. To flavor your Greek yogurt without adding sugar, try stirring in a half teaspoon of cinnamon and a few drops of vanilla extract. Or go savory with a pinch of herbs and a drizzle of olive oil. You can also top it with a small handful of berries. While berries do contain some natural sugar, a small amount won't significantly impact your carb count, and they add beneficial antioxidants. 10th. Leafy greens. Let's talk about leafy greens like arugula, spinach, and kale. These nutrient powerhouses are some of the most beneficial foods we can eat. Yet most Americans, especially those over 60, don't get nearly enough of them. Leafy greens are extremely low in carbs, but packed with folate, magnesium, and potassium, minerals that many seniors are deficient in. What makes arugula particularly special is its high nitrate content. Our bodies convert these nitrates to nitric oxide, which helps dilate blood vessels and improve circulation. This can lead to better energy, improved exercise performance, and even better cognitive function since good circulation is crucial for brain health. As we age, our bodies become less efficient at producing nitric oxide on their own, which is why incorporating nitrate-rich foods like arugula becomes even more important after 60. Spinach is another superstar, containing lutein and zeaxanthin, two antioxidants that protect eye health and may help prevent macular degeneration, a common concern as we age. It's also rich in iron, which is crucial for energy production. To maximize nutrient absorption from leafy greens, try this simple preparation method. Lightly sauté them in a bit of olive oil or grass-fed butter with a pinch of salt. The small amount of fat helps your body absorb the fat-soluble vitamins A, K, and E present in the greens. Now let's address a concern I hear often. What about oxalates? It's true that spinach and some other greens contain oxalates, which can potentially contribute to kidney stones in susceptible individuals. If you're concerned, simply rotate your greens. Have spinach one day, arugula the next, and kale after that. Cooking also reduces oxalate content significantly. 11th, cruciferous vegetables. Our 11th food group is cruciferous vegetables: broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage. These vegetables are nutritional superstars, particularly for seniors, because they contain a compound called sulforaphane. This powerful phytonutrient supports your body's natural detoxification processes, particularly in the liver. As we age, our detoxification systems can become less efficient. The sulforaphane in cruciferous vegetables gives these systems a boost, helping to clear out environmental toxins and excess hormones. This is especially important for women navigating perimenopause and menopause, as it helps balance hormones naturally. Cruciferous vegetables are also rich in fiber, which feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut. These bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids that nourish the cells lining your colon and help reduce inflammation throughout the body. Many people complain that cruciferous vegetables cause gas or bloating. Here's a simple cooking method to reduce these effects. Chop your broccoli or cauliflower and let it sit for about 40 minutes before cooking. This activates enzymes that make the vegetables easier to digest. Then steam them until they're fork tender but still bright in color. If you're tired of plain steamed vegetables, try this creative recipe. Roast cauliflower florets with olive oil, garlic, and a dash of paprika until golden brown. Then toss with a tablespoon of grated Parmesan cheese. It's a delicious side dish that even vegetable skeptics tend to enjoy. 12. Macadamia nuts and pecans. As we move into our bonus foods, let's talk about the lowest carb nuts you can find: macadamia nuts and pecans. While most nuts contain some carbs, macadamias and pecans are the lowest, with just 4 grams of net carbs per quarter cup. They're rich in monounsaturated fats, the same heart-healthy fats found in olive oil and avocados. These nuts are particularly beneficial for brain health as we age. The monounsaturated fats help maintain the integrity of brain cell membranes, while the vitamin E acts as an antioxidant, protecting brain cells from oxidative damage. The key with nuts is portion control. It's easy to mindlessly snack on them and consume hundreds of calories without realizing it. I recommend measuring out a small handful, about 1 ounce or a quarter cup, and putting the rest away. Here's a simple snack idea to prevent overeating. Toast raw pecans with a sprinkle of cinnamon and a pinch of sea salt, then divide them into small containers or snack bags. The cinnamon helps stabilize blood sugar, and the pre-portioned amounts prevent overindulging. 13. Apple cider vinegar. Our 13th food isn't exactly a food, it's apple cider vinegar, and it has some remarkable benefits for those watching their carbs and sugar. Apple cider vinegar, ACV, contains acetic acid, which has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity and helps stabilize blood sugar levels. This is particularly important for seniors, as insulin resistance tends to increase with age. ACV also supports digestive health by increasing stomach acid production, something that typically decreases as we age. This helps you better absorb minerals like calcium, iron, and B12, which are crucial for energy and bone health. When using ACV, it's important to dilute it properly to avoid damaging your tooth enamel. Never drink it straight. Here's a simple morning ritual that you can try. Mix 1 tablespoon of ACV in a glass of water with a squeeze of lemon juice first thing in the morning. Drink it through a straw to further protect your teeth, and wait at least 30 minutes before brushing to allow your enamel to reharden. Look for ACV that's raw, unfiltered, and contains the mother, those cloudy strands you see floating in the bottle. These contain beneficial enzymes and probiotics that processed vinegars lack. 14. Herbs and spices. Finally, let's talk about the incredible world of herbs and spices, the secret weapons for anyone looking to reduce inflammation and boost health without adding carbs or sugar. Herbs and spices are among the most antioxidant-rich foods on the planet, often containing more polyphenols per gram than fruits and vegetables. 3 that deserve special attention are turmeric, cinnamon, and ginger. Turmeric contains curcumin, a compound with powerful anti-inflammatory properties. Studies show it may be as effective as some anti-inflammatory drugs for reducing joint pain. The trick with turmeric is to combine it with black pepper, which contains piperine, a compound that increases curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. Cinnamon is another superstar spice, particularly for blood sugar control. Just half a teaspoon daily has been shown to significantly improve insulin sensitivity. It also contains powerful antioxidants that help reduce inflammation and may even support brain function. Ginger has been used for thousands of years to aid digestion and reduce nausea. It contains gingerols, compounds that can help reduce muscle pain and soreness. Particularly helpful if you're starting a new exercise program in your 60s or 70s. To increase the absorption of these active compounds, try this approach. Heat your spices in a little healthy fat, like butter or coconut oil, before adding them to your food. The fat helps your body absorb the fat-soluble compounds. Here's a simple spice blend that incorporates all these benefits. Mix 2 tablespoons of ground turmeric, 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon, 1 tablespoon of ground ginger, and 1 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. Store in a glass jar and use a teaspoon in your coffee, smoothies, or sprinkled over roasted vegetables. I recommend incorporating these foods gradually into your diet. Start with the ones that appeal to you most and try adding 1 or 2 new foods each week. Remember, consistency is key. These foods provide the most benefit when they become regular parts of your eating pattern. Which of these foods are you most excited to try? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe for more tips and natural remedies.